everyone, my name is Teacher Mariana. I am from Brazil and I'm going to start to study this book, Oxford Guide to English Grammar by John Eastwood. So come with me. Let's open up a little bit. Contents, introduction, acknowledgements, key to symbols. Everybody, I'm not going to read those parts of contents. I'm going to start with English grammar. Number one. Sentence and text. We are going to start with sentence and text, English grammar. So let's go. Okay, introductions. If you want to take a print, I can make it smaller for you. Well, not that small. Let's go, Mariana. Okay. 125, much better. Acknowledgements. If you want to take a print of that too. I'm not going to read this. Move on. Okay, everybody, key to symbols. I highly recommend you to take another YouTube video about phonetic symbols. Okay, those are very important since English language is taught by sounds, and they actually are very similar in some point, and about the vowels and everything. Okay, if you want to take a print screen of this too, other symbols. So let's go. Okay, English grammar, summary, grammatical units. Okay, the grammatical units of English are these: word, phrase, clause, and sentence. Word classes. The main word classes are these: verb, noun, adjective, adverb, preposition, determiner, pronoun, and conjunction. Phrases. There are these kind of phrases phrase. Verb phrase, noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrase. And then we have sentence elements. The sentence elements are these: subject, verb, object, complement, and adverbial. In English, compared with other languages, English words do not have a lot of different endings for number and gender. Word order is very important in English. The verb phrase can have a complex structure. There are many idioms with prepositions. So let's go. Grammatical units. The flight announcement. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of British Island Airways, Captain Massey and his crew welcome you on board the Start Herald flight to Southampton. Our flight time will be approximately 45 minutes, and we shall be climbing to an altitude of 8,000 feet and cruising at a speed of 250 miles per hour. Okay, the grammatical units of English are words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. So we're going to study all these talking about this little text that I just read for you. So let's go. Words. The words in the announcement are good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on, etc. Note, for word building, air plus ways equals airways. Everybody, he is trying to make you understand that there are two words that have a meaning, putting together make a different word. That's what we call compound words, but we're going to study these more on page 282. Phrases and clauses. We use phrases to build a clause. Here's an example. Let me read the example and then I read each part. Our flight time will be approximately 45 minutes. Subject, noun phrase, our flight time, verb phrase, will be. Complement, noun phrase, approximately 45 minutes. Here the noun phrase, our flight time, is the subject of the clause. A clause has a subject and the verb. there can be other phrases too. In this next example, we use a prepositional phrase as an adverbial. So let's go to the example. On behalf of the airline, we wish you a pleasant flight. So, adverbial prepositional phrase. On behalf of the airline. Subject, noun phrase. We. Verb phrase. Wish. Object, noun phrase. You. Object, noun phrase. A pleasant flight. For more about the different kinds of phrases, page number 4. For subject, object, complement, and adverbial, page number 5. For finite and non-finite clauses, page 239. We're going through that. Well, let's go. Sentences. A sentence can be a single clause. On behalf of British Island Airways, Captain Massey and his crew welcome you on board the Start Herald flight to Southampton. Okay. A written sentence begins with a capital letter, on, and ends with a mark such as full stop. We can also combine two or more clauses in one sentence. For example, we can use and to link the clauses. Our flight time will be approximately 45 minutes, and we shall be climbing to an altitude of 8,000 feet and cruising at a speed of 250 miles an hour. For details about sentences with more than one clause, page 238, we're going to through that, but not today. Word classes. There are different classes of word, sometimes called parts of speech. The word come is a verb, letter is a noun, and great is an adjective. Note, some words belong to more than one word class. For example, task can be a noun or a verb. He passed the test. Stop. Noun. He had to test the machine. Verb. When the word test is a verb, it means that he's doing action. It's an action, right? And when the test is a noun, it's because it's a subject. Something is calling, talking about the test. Anyway, let's go. There are 8 main word classes in English. Verb, noun, adjective, adverb, preposition, determiner, pronoun, conjunction. As an example of verbs, we have climb, eat, welcome, be. Noun, aircraft, country, lady, hour. Adjective, good, British, cold, quick. Adverb, quickly, always, approximately. Preposition, to, off, at, on. Determiner, the, his, some, 45. Pronoun, we, you, then, myself. Conjunction, in, but, so. Note, there is also a small class of words called interjections. They include oh, ah, and Okay. Verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs are vocabulary words. Learning vocabulary means learning verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs. Preposition, determiners, pronouns, and conjunctions belong to much smaller classes. These words are sometimes called grammatical words. Most word classes can be divided into subclasses. For example, verb, ordinary verb, or auxiliary verb. Let's go to examples of ordinary verb. Go, like, think, apply. Auxiliary verb is had, can, must. Adverb. Adverb can be divided in adverb of manner, adverb of frequency, adverb of place, linking adverb. So let's go. Adverb of manner, suddenly, quickly. Adverb of frequency, always, often. Adverb of place, there, nearby. Linking adverb, to, also, etc. Determiner can be divided in article, possessive, demonstrative, and quantifier. Article A, the. Possessive, my, his. Demonstrative, these, that. Quantifier, all, three. So let's go to phrases, everybody. There are 5 kinds of phrase. Number 1, verb phrase. Come, have thought, was left, will be climbing. A verb phrase has an ordinary verb, come, thought, left, climbing, and may also have an auxiliary, had, was, will. Number 2, noun phrase. A good flight, keys, screw, we. A noun phrase has a noun, flight, which usually has a determiner, a, an or adjective, good, in front of it. A noun phrase can also be a pronoun, we. Number 3, adjective phrase, pleasant, very late. An adjective phrase has an adjective, sometimes with an adverb of degree, very. 4, adverb phrase, quickly, almost certainly. An adverb phrase has an adverb, sometimes with an adverb of degree, almost. Number 5, prepositional phrase, after lunch on the aircraft. A prepositional phrase is a preposition plus a noun phrase. Okay, very good. 5, sentence elements. Each phrase plays a part in the clause or sentence. Here are some examples. Let's read the example first, and then I'm going to see the elements. The flight is leaving shortly. Subject, the flight. Verb is leaving. Adverbial, shortly. Okay, let's go to other examples. The weather is very good. Subject, the weather. Verb is. Complement, very good. So let's go to the other example. My father was a pilot. Subject, my father. Verb, was. Complement, a pilot. Okay. I was reading a newspaper. Subject, I was reading a newspaper. Sorry, people, let me come back. Subject, I. Verb, was reading. Object, a newspaper. Go to the other example. 2 stewards served lunch. Subject, 2 stewards. Okay. 2 stewards served lunch. Subject, 2 stewards. Verbs, served. Object, lunch. Okay. The aircraft left London at 3 o'clock. Subject, the aircraft. Verb, left. Object, London. Adverbial, at 3 o'clock. We must book the tickets next week. Subject, we. Verb, must book. Object, the tickets. Adverbial, next week. These are the elements of an English sentence and the kind of phrase that we can use for each element. Subject, verb, object, complement, adverbial. Let's go to the subject. Noun phrase, the flight, I, 2 stewards. Verb phrase, is, served, must book. Object, noun phrase, a newspaper, lunch. Complement, adjective phrase, very good. Noun phrase, a pilot. Adverbial, adverb phrase, shortly. Prepositional phrase, at 3 o'clock. Noun phrase, next week. Note, the verb is central to the sentence, and we use the word verb for both the sentence elements. The verb follows the subject, and for the word class, leave is a verb. For more details about sentences pattern, page number 7. B. The word there can be the subject. Page 50. There was a letter for you. Okay, English compared with other languages. We're going to the end of this. Endings. Unlike words in some other languages, English words do not have a lot of different endings. Nouns take as in the plural, miles, but they do not have endings to show whether they are subject or object. Verbs take a few endings such as ed for the past, started, but they do not take endings for person. Except in the third person singular of the present tense, it starts. Articles, the, possessive, my, and adjectives, good, do not have endings for number or gender. Pronouns, line, have fewer forms than in many languages. Let's go. Word order. Word order. Word order is very important in English, as nouns do not have endings for subject or object. It is the word order that shows which is which. Subject, the woman. Verb, loved. Object, the man. The woman loved the man. She loved him. The man loved the woman. Subject, the man. Verb, loved. Object, the woman. He loved her. The subject-verb order is fixed, and we can change it only if there is a special reason. Which we are sitting together. I don't know what is the special reason. Verb phrases. A verb phrase can have a complex structure. There can be auxiliary verbs as well as the ordinary verb. I climbed up the ladder. I was climbing the mountain. We shall be climbing to an altitude of 8,000 feet. The use of tenses are and auxiliary verbs can be difficult for speakers of other languages. Prepositions. The use of prepositions in English can be a problem. We flew here on Friday. We left at 2 o'clock. Both prepositions and adverbs combine with verbs in an idiomatic way. They were waiting for the flight. The plane took off. There are many expressions involving prepositions that you need to learn as items of vocabulary. Okay, everyone, we done with English grammar. I hope you enjoy it. We are going to the number 2 another time. Bye-bye.